Um, Hi everyone. It is me, Sailor Earth, Ernest here, or Ernest P. Wardle here. And today I'm going to talk about a hang up or a bind that befell YouTube yesterday. Now, everyone's time stead, or whatever you want to call it, might have been at an unlike time. Some, it probably happened in the morning. Others, midday, after day, evening, night. But this bind, when it did happen, made it where you could still log into YouTube with your Google wire and your step word, but you could not log out. You would have to log out through Google itself. You could not, you, nothing, you couldn't open up your, whatever you want to call it, the little board or whatever comes out, with all the settings and everything on it. Well, you couldn't see that. You would get nothing. That would just spin. You couldn't see your yesteryear. You couldn't see your films. You couldn't see your followings or your followers. You couldn't see any of that. You couldn't even send feedback. Now, a lot of folks out there, when this bind or hang up happened on YouTube, guilted it on many things. Some folks guilted it on hacking. But if it was a hack, what hacker or hackers would only hack it so you could get into YouTube, that you could only watch films or upload or do live streams, make it where you'd have to log out through Google itself, and make it where, you can't see your films or your yesteryear or your followers or your followings or any of that other stuff, and you can't go to your backboard or whatever you want to call it on other stuff. Well, other folks had, I was one fodder belief, but the hacking doesn't back it up. So everyone else, then there's probably going to be others out there who probably guilted it on their tools. And when I mean their tools, I mean they guilted it on their stuff. First, they probably thought, there was something wrong with Edge or Chrome or Firefox or Safari. Others probably thought it was their sandbox or their firewall settings. Others thought it was their evilware stronghold tool or whatever. But it was not. It had nothing to do with anyone's web seeker, nothing to do with anyone's layout or their evilware stronghold tool or their sandbox or their firewall or any of that stuff. But there probably, sadly there were folks out there probably thought it was something on their end and started, playing around with all the settings, thinking that it was something on their end making it happen. And then there were folks who believed they had the heal or the workaround, because a lot of those films were coming out around that time too. Folks out there believing that they had the answer. Now, one of the answers someone might think is, just go download their tool. Yeah, they do got a app or a tool, but it's only good for one of your many Google reckonings or YouTube fairways. So if you had more than one YouTube fairway like we do, then that tool would not be the answer for any of the other ones. But even sometimes that was a hit and miss. So YouTube did get around to healing the flaw. Whatever made it happen, I don't know. So, and there is no answer to why it happened. And everyone's going to have their thought and belief of what made it happen, but no one truly knows. And I know there's going to be some folks who got this other thought and belief out here. I didn't put this thought and belief out here, but there are some folks out there who probably thought, YouTube did it by goal so they could get you to get YouTube Red, or whatever they call it these days, or to get YouTube Farseer. But if you couldn't afford YouTube Red or YouTube Farseer, fucking YouTube Free wasn't going to get folks to buy something they didn't want. And there was no truth to back that up either. Now, I know what you're thinking. Was it only on the YouTube website, the free one? No. The same thing was going on with the YouTube Red, the YouTube Farseer, and any of the YouTube tools anyone would have that ran off of one's Wise Farseer or something like that. It didn't care if you were on a didn't care what kind of reckoner it was. It didn't care what kind of Wise Farseer it was. It didn't care what Wise Far Speaker it was. When that flaw or whatever happened, it happened. It didn't care if you were a mate or not. It didn't care if you were a boostering or showing business, if bought time on there or not. It didn't care. But it's been healed now. You know, that's all I want to talk about. So anyway, if you like that film, then follow me over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Or watch the last film we made yesterday over here with Sailor Neptune talking about how she came from eBay. Well, being the one of the other Sailor Moon dolls that come from there. I'm Sailor Earth Ernest, and I'll see you later. Bye.